Welcome back to Distant Worlds 2, guys. We're going to be sort of just cracking on with the game that we've been playing up a few weeks ago now. Actually, I guess it is a couple of weeks. So I've forgotten what I'm doing. I really am a goldfish. If I'm not playing back to back to back with certain things, I actually do lose track of what I'm up to. I didn't even think I was playing as a Daewitz. It's literally only as the loading screen came in that I thought, oh, I'm the Daewitz. I forgot about that. I know we're doing well. That's all I can remember. We're at war here with the Ublay Edenic Bliss, which is like just looking at the stuff there. I know that's actually a God, what are they called? Ikaru. An Ikaru faction. So I'll go through and set all this stuff up. If you are watching this, at the time of recording, there's about 2 days left, 2 or 3 days left on the Steam sale for 60% off. So if you do want to get the base game, now's a great time to get it. 60% off is about as good as it gets. Actually, let's have a quick look and see. Is that as good as it gets? Let's go to the Steam DB and see if that's the case. Distant Worlds 2. And if we have a look at if we look at sales actually, and then I'll just try to find it in sales. Actually, I probably could have found it back there. Distant Worlds 2 there. Still, because it's the same thing. Yeah, so 60% off at the moment. 65% has been the lowest recorded price. So it's 5% more that you could possibly get at some point in the future, maybe, but it's still pretty damn close to the biggest sort of deal ever, basically. That's I think worldwide 60%. Yep. So anyway, that's where it all is. So there's all your different pricing all the way through there. Australian dollars, but yeah, there's a whole range of stuff. Actually, what is it for US? Are you seeing US? I'm not even seeing. Oh, US dollar. There we go. Yeah, $20. $20 at the moment, which is very, very good. So anyway, that's actually this is the price history. There's been there's been a few 65s. In fact, even just the Tower Defense Fest. Thinking, why is it so cheap there? I don't get it. So the 2-year low was there, right? Anyway, that's the sale history. So anyway, that's the history of the game in terms of the. So the 60% is not as good as it has been, but it's pretty damn close. But I thought I'd actually just mention that. I did notice that it was on special at the moment, and we are playing. Just to put this into perspective. We're playing as the Daewitz down in here, which is sort of like an insectoid faction, and the Ikaru, who we're actually at war with. So this DLC, we're actually featuring this DLC today, which is 30% off, which is also very, very good. Now, I'm assuming that would probably won't come up actually. Yeah, no, I won't go through all the different bits and pieces. But anyway, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. So we'll just go and. Come back into it. So we've got so we're actually coming back into here. Looks like we've got like different fleets that we're actually about to start to attack. So there's a defense force there. There's a world here, Exene, which is what is Exene? Exene has got one of our groups is attacking it. Okay, so there is actually a defending group. I've got no recollection of this at all. Oh, hang on. This is actually the Loris fruit. Now, I don't even think we declared war. I think that they declared war against us, which sort of worked out well for us. Okay, I'm starting to now pick up the pieces. Hi, Sapior. How are you going? So let's go back out and have a look. I always like to leave zoom in on what we have to focus on, and the zoom in was on the moon Exene, which is around this gas giant. This gas giant is what it's sitting around. We don't even have this as well. So they've actually got this one as well. So we've got those. There is a fleet back over here as well, where we're attacking a small group of their ships. And so I think we've, from memory, I thought we were going to be attacking in a different part of the galaxy. I thought that we were going to be looking to attack over here somewhere. Now, I'll just move my head out of the way just so you can see the interface. So I'll just move it up into there somewhere. Usually that's about the right spot for distant worlds. Sort of works out reasonably well. All right, okay, so hi Boobo, how you going? So we've got, now if we have a bit of a look, there's a group up through here. So we've actually got like the Mortallans are up this way. The Boscarans that we're friendly with are in here. The Ikaru have been starting to extend down into this region, and we want this region. So this region has got the Loris fruit, so we definitely want to have that under our control. There is also a smallish faction which we're sort of subjugated largely. I do remember this, Denbolt. The Denbolt system is one that we've subjugated these guys. These are Artooks, and so the Artooks are sort of like a fairly weak, almost like a, what are they called, Ewok. They're like the Ewoks of the game. And so they're in this forest moon in through here, where they're sort of building different of their attack groups and stuff like this. But so they will rebel at some point. They won't like being subjugated to the insectoids, which is what we're playing as. So they're sort of like a mammalian faction, as are the Ikaru, but they're not really in contact. Now that's the capital of the Ikaru forces. Now, do we have a presence here? We don't, I don't think. Let's have a look and see which of these planets is their home world. Doesn't have the star, so it's not that one. It's this one here. So they've got a forest planet here as well. There's the star there, just showing it's the capital. Now, I don't actually have any presence here at all. So we actually don't have anything going on here. So, do I have any ambassadors that I can send across? We have ambassador to the Gizarian Dominion. So there's one that's moving out to the Gizarians. There's one that's going to the Boscarans as well, just to sort of keep the Boscarans friendly, which is fine. And then we've only got a third one here to the Mortallan Security. So I've got them all in the other part of the like essentially they're now sort of moving out into the north, like the north and the west of the actual galaxy, to try to sort of secure that part of the border. So we don't actually have anyone spare that can actually come in and have an ambassador here. Ambassadors are extremely useful because they feed back information of what they see from the home planets. So getting extra ambassadors can be extremely useful. What else are we up to with this game at this point in time? So I possibly will just start to sort of gobble my way through while this war lasts. But I definitely want to be taking control of everything in here. Now we've got war mission, defend important research station. We have a research station back over here. I think that we're going to be able to actually crush them. Like we're doing very, very well in this game. And defensive bases, we're still 1.5 years away from getting space bastions. So we're moving that one through there. Q projects and monitoring stations and enhanced construction as well. Now these are all peripheral tech. They're not tech that I absolutely must have. So that's telling me, and again, I really can't remember what I've done with the game. So the fact that I'm going after defensive bases makes me think that I've pretty much got most of the stuff that I need from the tech. Now we've got advanced blasters there. So this is one that I want to get these assault blasters when I can. And we're still a little way off getting this. So we've actually only got 9% of the 20% that we need for the research threshold. Playing as a Daewits, we're sort of middle of the road when it comes to research. We're not as bad as a lot of the other insectoids, but we're also not as good as a lot of the other mammalian type, or humanoid type factions as well. So we're Now we do have a 9% boost at the moment, 11% from weapons research and -1 from all research. So we're doing the -1 from all research is possibly because we've actually taken over RTOOK worlds, and so the RTOOKs have got like a negative to all research. They're quite dumb, and so we're sort of we do pick up a little bit of what they do. The all research is so important. So that means one of the ways we can do that, if we can't find anything to make it better, we can down the very bottom here is a thing where we've got structured research. So structured research allows us to build the science academy, and that's something that we possibly only just got, because I don't think the defensive bases are all that far along. But structured research allows me to build the Science Academy, which will give me an all research of +10%, and plus then give me another appearance chance for scientists. So building this will be important. So my all research will go from -1 to +9. So that will get me almost to the 20% that we need. We'll be then 19 off. So we're only one off the actual requirement to get those impact blasters. Once we get that, these specializations as well can only, I need to have 20% to get some of these. So weapon specialization will give me a weapons research of +10, armor research of +5, and troop research of +5. So if I can build this one here, unfortunately we're only at 4% for the high tech research, and so we don't have any sources of that one. So to get this next academy is going to require high tech research. I might just go through, like, if there is ways for us to achieve this, I'll just go through the steps of what we need. So the goal is to pick up at the very top, to pick up these high power blasters. So what these do is these branch off to a whole other range of tech, ultimately, where we end up. Once we sort of break into this one here, we can get small and medium blasters from here, but I want the large blasters from this, which are actually in the next rung along. And so I've got this, which is sort of like the end of the road. So I've already done this. I've already got this one here, the Maxos blasters, which do a fair amount of damage. And so it's damage per second that we're looking at. It's got 23 damage per second. This one here does 33 damage per second. So it actually, 33 damage overall, but 9.6 per second, and then the next rung along does even more. So it becomes this is a really, really great beam weapon to be aiming for. So to get that one, we do need to have the overall 20% in weapons. Now the different ways we can do it is to go down the bottom again of the tech tree and pick up science research, and so we can sort of start to get these different areas. But it's going to be a fair way off to get that one, but it's definitely going to be worth tracking that one through. And so these are all the different specializations. Again, we need high-tech research to be able to then sort of go and do this. So I can't just boost it from here. And it will be important that we end up doing this. So let's just go back out, exit research. One thing I just want to make sure is that my home world, which is got the little star there, so I might just turn off the combat overlay, just so everything sort of leaps into fruition, so we can see all of the mining ships and all the different bits and pieces that are off all over the place. Just initially, then we may turn it back to the military tab yet again. So there's my capital here, and so we've got this one in through here. So are we building a science academy? No, we're not. Okay, so we want to be building a science academy. So just go back into facilities, and there it is there. So definitely going to go and grab this one here. So just go and throw that into the mix. And so that'll take a little bit of time to build up. It might sort of take a year or so just to build the science academy. That will get us part of the way there. The next thing we want to do is now find either weapons research locations in the galaxy, or we want to find the high tech. So high tech or weapons is really what we're now aiming for. And we've got a fair few stations. Let's have a quick look and see what we've actually been able to pick up with the research stations at this stage. So if we have a look at these are the actual research stations that we have, and we've got a hell of a lot. But let's have a look if there's any new ones. There's no new ones that we can see, so we've got nothing there. And so if we have a look, these are all the ones, we've got a plus 4% to all research down through there. So we've already picked that one up. So these are all the things that we actually have, and we have a scientist there as well. Actually, the scientists themselves can also do a little bit. So this one here is doing all research is -5 from trait of being an addict. So we actually lose 5 from this guy. Actually, that's where we're losing it all. We're losing it all from him. So if I got rid of him, like if I destroyed him, we would end up so I could dismiss him and get him out of there. It means that we lose a little bit on all the other bits, but we don't. But that -5 applies to everything. Like he's really quite bad. So that's actually a really, really bad scientist. And so and that's where we've got a +4 in one of the stations. In fact, the station that he's on, I think, has got a +4 in all research, which means we've got a -1 overall. And then we've got Landy Cochran in through here as well, who has got he's got +6% there in high tech research. So I can get rid of the other scientists to end up giving us another 5%. So if the weapons research itself, I can do the weapons research without just by sacking him once we actually get this this location done. So that may be an option. So that's actually sort of that fixes that one up. The all research applies to everything. So it's very, very So Boland's saying, do we dismiss him and pray to RNGesus for a better one? Yes, we do. Basically, we end up. So if we get rid of him, because he's an addict, the addict trait has got -5 to all research. All research is so pervasive in the research. It's really the most important of the traits, like by a mile. It applies. It's it's an additional factor across all research. So it's super, super important. Now we've got Landy Cochran through here as well, who's a patriot. So this one significantly decreases the success rate of other Empire steel tech espionage missions against your Empire. Great. So he's actually good. He's actually useful to have around. So he's at the Himvayat Research Station, and this guy here is at the Rivik Research Station. And if we have a look and see what we've actually got, in fact, the research bonus amounts, we can sort of see them through here. Reactor research, we've got 44% with the different. So Caplet is sort of working his way through there. Construction, weapons is at 11 at this stage. Actually, even our leader is giving us a 5% bonus there. So we've sort of got like the different amounts in through that other side. Shield, the high tech is with 6%. So Landy Cochran is +6 there. If we have a look again at the scientists, so he's doing well. This one not so much. So not so much there, unfortunately, with the all research. Actually, does that show us the all? We don't even see the all. Oh, there is all research there. Oh, there we go. So the RTOOCs are it's getting applied at 2%, at 12%, because they're 12% of our actual colony. The RTOOCs are giving us a -2. The Science Academy. Actually, we pick up the Science Academy straight away, even when we start. We don't have to finish it. We just have to start building it to get that extra boost. Capulet Mukran is the problem there. We are getting a +4 at the Himavat Research Station, and the Firmus Research Station there of +1. That means, because we must have only just got this one here. We haven't crash researched that one yet. You know what we can do is now that we're starting to build that station, we can actually and we're already getting the bonus from it. If I go and have a look at this one again now, and then just go back up to the high power blasters, we have 19% now. So now is the time to sack him and get this, because this is more valuable to me than the other defensive bases and stuff like that. So I'm going to sack him now straight away. So I'll just exit research, because I'm getting the benefit from the Science Academy straight away. So back to scientists. Capulet is the addict. I want to make sure it's the right one. We're going to dismiss him. You're about to permanently dismiss your scientist, Capulet Mukran. Are you sure you want to? Yes, we do. Bang, you're gone. So we only have the one left now. And with this one here, if we just go back into the research yet again and have another look, we now can get the high-tech blasters. So just in those two little moves, we've been able to, without even unpausing the game, we've now got access to these blasters. And these are going to be 3 years to research. So I'll throw them in there. I'll pay the costs. And let's have a quick look and just see how much money we've got. We've got 155,000. So I might even rush the research here as well. I would like to get these fairly early. So let's go and grab these. And to get it to do a crash research, 160,000 credits. So we're not quite enough, but we're almost there. So the crash research, now that's actually down the bottom. I want that at the top. So it's going to be the next thing being done through here. But we do need to, I'll be wanting to crash research this one. Now, the next thing we want to just double check on is our ship designs. What have we got? So if we just go back into the ship designs, back into here, have a quick look. I'll just sort by role. That way I can sort of see anything manual is what I'm actually controlling through these different things. So we've got 6 destroyers. I've only got 6. It's a Mark II. What I might do is I might just go into active designs and have a quick look and see if there's anything else. I think active designs will then show me if there's different classes that we need to be sort of mindful of. We've got 45 fleet frigates. We've got 0 frigates there. So that's the actual. Yeah, I think we're actually up to date. There's nothing much here. Heavy escorts. We've got 32 of the Mark IVs. So it looks like we've actually done an actual retrofit of everything we needed to do. There shouldn't really be anything else that we need to be sort of throwing on until we get these impact blasters. Let's have a quick look at this guy. So what have you got? Have you got your Maxos blasters on? You've got your, these are Epsilon torpedoes, which is fine. So they've got the torpedoes on that particular one. It's interesting. We did actually pick up the fleet frigates. So these are the. Just go and edit this one. Have a quick look and see. And this one's Maxos blasters all the way through. So that's mainly what we're sort of looking at there. Which is good. And then we've got the. Actually, I want to just double check that one. There's other, yeah. So this one upgrades latest design, and it upgrades the latest design for the fleet frigate hull, which is fine. Yep, and everything else is set up to aggressive. That's all fine. Yep, that's all good. So it makes me think that my fleets are now also all being built and ready to roll. So all these manuals that we sort of see in through here. So in fact, I could even just do hull upgrade and actually have all the manuals all in one position at the top, maybe. It's a way to sort of sort that one. Anyway, we'll let that one go. So it looks like my fleets are sort of, actually, I'll just go back and change that, not just to active designs, but to active buildable designs, which will then sort of just filter them down a little bit more. So I just want to make sure that that's actually what we actually have there. So that looks to be everything in our fleets. If we have a look at the actual fleets themselves, we can go across to the military tab. And we've got a heap of fleets from memory. Yeah, we've got the first fleet is attacking the Uberlei rendezvous. So that's actually one of the ones that's off doing action. Third fleet is moving to the Anarche 2 mining station. So that one's actually moving across. Actually, what have we got? Actually, I'll just go through each of them just for the numbers because I've got them set up. So the first fleet is back over here at the Anarche system, which is where we're attacking. The second fleet is also out there. The second fleet is our invasion fleet, and so they're actually been they've only got like limited forces left over, so they're actually actively attacking the Anarche system as well to get the Loris fruit. The third fleet is set to automatic, and it's set to raid back into this region, and so they're going to be raiding all of this no man's land. So they're establishing themselves at the Anarche 2 mining station, and so they're sort of heading out that way. Hi orangutans, how you going? So Bonland's saying, can we fit a rec centre on any of our military designs for maintenance savings? I don't know if it works that way, does it? I think that's got to be... I'm not sure if it does work that way. Have a quick look and see. It's I think it's mainly for I don't think you'd get the savings there. If I go to components and recreation centre, there. Okay, recreation centre provides sophisticated recreation facilities. These services can benefit the citizens of a colony when they are part of a base build at the colony. This increases the happiness of your citizens. So it's got the maintenance. It does say maintenance savings there, but it won't be per ship. I don't think. I'm not sure how that one works. It may, we've got recreation rating. Yeah, I don't know if it works that way. I definitely don't think it's worth doing. It's not something that comes up in the in what you build on your actual ships. It does. It's usually hard to justify military ships, but all my civs have it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, 6%. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to do it. I think that they're mainly the recreation centres. I think are mainly for the. It's like medical centres. Like medical centres are also just mainly for colonies. So it's sort of. I don't want to. I don't know. Sort of min-max my way through it. There's a medical centre there. So this one here. Medical centres components provide expert medical facilities. These can benefit the citizens of the colony. If part of a base built on the colony, this increases the happiness of your citizens. Medical centres also provide rapid healing for any troops on board this ship or base. So they will have these on the troop transports, but they may not even have them on the troop transports that we have. In addition, they can help. So the damage reduction, medical rating in through there. So they will actually heal up, but I don't think our second fleet will have them. These are just small troop transports. So we can see. Oh yeah, they do have one. Okay, they've got it on there. Yeah, I don't think our ships would be big enough to warrant the recreation centre. Yeah, okay. Well, if they do it, I'll keep that in mind just to see. Okay, so Falcon's saying hello all. Glad to see this back. Yeah, I was going to play it tomorrow, but then I've actually got another stream that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It's funny because I was going to be. I thought, well, I'll do Distant Worlds tomorrow, and I'll do. I was going to play Headquarters World War II today, and because I'm really it's not World War II, Headquarters Cold War, which I really quite enjoy, and but it just so happens that the game that I've got to play tomorrow is Headquarters World War II. So I thought, well, I'll switch them over. We'll do our Worldly Wednesday stream on the Tuesday and go from there. All right, so hi orangutans, how you going? And Mukran, what is it? Mukran, banned from chat. Where's Mukran? I don't even see Mukran. Not seeing it. No, I'm not sure who you're referring to there. And I don't know what they've done. So, and should they exist wherever? Yeah, I'm not seeing it there. Sorry, I don't know what you're referring to, orangutans. Okay, Bonan's saying it does. Usually it's hard to justify. Yep, okay. Orangutan saying, so maybe when you have massive ships, yeah, but Star Trek, like, yes, I think, yeah, that sounds like a bit like the holodeck. I think that would make sense. Okay, so Herbert Brown is saying, Daz, I'm playing this myself. It's awesome. Return of the You've got Shrika there. What's it called? It's the Return of the Jack Dury. Is really interesting. Yeah, we're playing with it on, but we haven't actually got even close to that yet in this game. All right, well, let's get into it. We've now got the we've got a high power blasters. We do now have access to. So that's sort of all now working. And I'll just wait until I've got a little bit of more money before anything else happens. Let's go back to the Anarche system. And we then actually have two different things going on. We've got the invasion going in. So these are going to crush this particular invasion. And then we also then have, and the defensive bases are mainly to protect this particular station, that ultimately when we take this one over. And then we are chasing this one down as well. So we've got the, now the actual ship designs that we have, this is the first fleet. If we were going to go through each of the fleets. So this fleet here is, that one can still retrofit. It's surprising. Now, these are all just fleet frigates all the way through. The basic destroyers. These are destroyers Mark II, which I think were the ones that we were dealing with. Just go back to the first again. And we do have a little bit of troop capacity, boarding assault strength, which we won't worry about. So we'll just sort of allow that to, we'll just watch this one. We'll just do it at half speed and just smash our way through these guys. Colony conquered, so we've now taken Exene. So this one is now gone. These are defence forces that are moving in. We actually have the 6th Defence Force back over here of ours, which are also on manual. And so they're actually attacking the Gemini Raider, which will be one of these guys. There it is there. I'll let that one continue on. So Exene has now been conquered. This is an Ikaru population. Now these are set up as, we don't have any assimilation here at all. But this is actually just going to be an outpost. I don't think it'll actually be so they've just got like a small population working the planet. Now it is a forest moon. Yeah, the Ikaru it's -1, which is means it's not good. It's not good enough for them either. Oh, this is where the Loris fruit comes from. So I think we'll just keep this one going as a see how it says outpost there. So outposts are small enclosed surface settlements that can be established on planets and moons. Ideal for settling planets that would otherwise be inhospitable for colonization. Particularly useful to acquire important ruins with empire bonuses or valuable resources, which is why they're there. Outposts do not grow beyond their initial settlement population, nor do they pay tax. So they just basically, I don't know why they've got another 3 million there. They have grown a little bit. Outposts have support costs that correlate to the suitability of the planet's population. Lower suitability increases support costs, whereas better suitability lessens support costs. Thus, outposts are always a net drain on your economy, but they never earn money. They always, but always have support costs. Outposts also claim their entire system as territory for your empire, so they are useful in terms of the expansion. We did actually have a mining station here, so we were mining this station. We were mining this planet, and then they came with their colony to actually to set up this outpost. However, outposts also have some restrictions. They cannot build new ships or bases. They cannot build most planetary facilities, and they cannot recruit troops. So there is also a limit on the total number of outposts. You can only have one outpost for each colony in your empire. I didn't know that, actually. I didn't realise that you actually had limits based on the amount of colonies that you had. Establishing an outpost requires sending a colony ship to the target planet, but instead of performing a colonization mission, it performs establish outpost mission. So that's actually what's going on with the outpost. So so with that one through there, this is literally just going to be a mining station. That's all it's going to be. And you can see there it's already established, like a few of the troops here have been established as garrisons. But we'll actually go and tweak this one now. So we'll go and re-establish what we need. So we'll just go into the colony details screen. And so what we end up having, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 set up as actual, and what's this one here? This is a robo guard force, which is the mercenary brigades are what we want. ultimately. But these are the robo guards are the Ikaru, not the Ikaru, the Ewok ones, the Artooks. I'll leave them here as garrisons as well. They can be a garrison. So garrison you as well. That leaves me with 5. What's that one there? That's Mercenary Brigade, which is actually is taken a little bit of damage. And all the rest of them are actually okay. I don't think we've got any. Yeah, or everything is octomechs, which are like, these are all the armor that we have. So they're going to be fine. They just can stay where they are. So I'll leave that. I'll leave 5 of the guys here, and so everything else will now sort of just go and set up. We'll just dismiss that message there. So and we'll just leave these as a garrison for the troops on the world. Just pause that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's all okay. And so with the rest of these, we're just going to get them. So the second fleet is just going to be picking up the troops. Now the troops there, what's it got there? General, and admiral. We don't want an admiral there. This is Dosti Boshak, commanding the second invasion fleet. Yeah, so I don't need that one on there. Let's just go and pick up the troops here anyway. Let's just go and load troops at Exene. So they'll just go and pick up the rest of the troops that they've got. If we go back to the admiral, Admiral Sev. So third fleet is fine. We've got Zok. This one here is set to auto. Now I do have another large fleet. I might just have a quick look and see which fleet would be suitable for him to go to. So if we just go from fleet to fleet, so the first fleet has got an admiral on it. The second fleet is the one that this one's on. The third fleet has got an admiral as well, Admiral Sev. So they're moving into the Anarchy 2, into this system as well, to do raiding missions. The fourth fleet is too small. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I thought I had one more large fleet, but I mustn't have it. So in that case, now this is actually back around the Uglog spaceport. That's actually looking after the Artooks. So they're sort of down in this region of space. Then we've got the 5th is at Agavorg. If I just go and click on it, where is that? See where they are in this. So they're set up over there. Okay, well that's actually that's sort of going to be frontline areas as well. The 6th is actually attacking. They're actually back up in here as well. I might put them on the 6th because the 6th is at this stage also has a home base. So I might throw the character there. So I'm just going to go back to the Admiral. I'm going to turn off the automation and go and change him to the 6th Fleet, 6th Defence Force. So we'll transfer to the new location. There we are. And don't know how it got a research breakthrough in structured research. No idea. Anyway, it's something happened there within his events. So he's been doing a lot of hyper jumps and things. War starts. Yep, that's okay. We'll just keep it going. So that anyway, so he is now going to be moving across the 6th, which is in the same location. That will then mean that the second fleet that we actually have through here will then lose that particular character. So he'll now transfer to this little group. And so they'll pick up those. We'll just go back out this way now and have a bit of a look. And so we're just chasing down these ships. Now they're trying to jump away. And what we're really looking at here is to see this one's been disabled. And so it's trying to jump, but shouldn't be able to. And so all the ships are just tracking with this particular group. Oh no, it could still jump. They've gone. It's been destroyed. Alright, so that's all been done. So that actually was just protecting the Anarchy 2 mining station. which is not all that important, but it is a presence in the system. So that's actually now so that's the first fleet. We did actually have fuel tanker. Oh, it's under construction. That may be being retrofitted. Yeah, it's retrofitting at Sarsel. So this is actually what's happening here. So these guys are that's where the retrofit needed to be done. So if we go back to the first again, we should then see some other ships here. There's one down over here at the Sarsel system. It's just doing a retrofit at the station here. So it's actually in the process of just being rebuilt, just for the fleet itself. All right, so just double checking everything again. I'll just put it back to the military, the combat overlay, just to sort of get everything sort of ghosted back a little bit. If we go back to, excuse me, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so we have a bit of a look through here. So the first fleet is ready to go. Its fuel is not fantastic at this point in time. We've got no more ships we need for that one. The second is now picked up a lot of its supplies. Still got the Admiral there. It will transfer across. If we have a look at the second fleet, what's left on the planet? Yeah, so these are just the garrison for this particular group, and I just want to make sure that the general is transferring out to the second invasion fleet as well. Transfer, so they'll just do that straight away. Second invasion fleet transfer, because these are also set to manual, so I've got to make sure that after I use them, I put them back as well. All right, that is good. So the second can now just go back off and pick up troops again from somewhere else. So we don't have anything pressing in this region of space. So there's nothing. They do have a presence in here, but I don't think they've got anything that really is going to matter to us. The next step would be to take this. So what I think I'll do is I'm just going to go and tell the second to just to re-automate, and so I'm just going to set the fleet role. Their home base is Navi, which is back in our home system. I'm pretty sure it's a volcanic planet. Actually, it's a Boscaran planet. Where is that? If I just go and click on it again. Okay, Navi is there. No, it's not. It's not actually. It's not what we thought. So this one here is a Boscaran world that we had picked up. We do actually have troops there. I think I'll just tell them. I sort of wouldn't mind Navi having a bit more protection. I might just get the second to move back to the Lamtrini system and just pick up troops back at the home. So hang on a second. I'll move them to Lamtrini 4. Now we actually don't have any troops here that they can pick up just yet. So I will actually just go to manage troops and just go and get myself the new clone troops. So 155, 126. So these are the clones here. Oh yeah, there we go. So it's got recruit, which means it's just going to be green. This one here is what we want, is the clones. Let's just go and build a few more of them. Now it's chomping through the money whenever I do that, so we'll just leave that one where that is. Just make sure that we've got the coverage that we need from each of the actual each of the groups. First is back out through here. We're using this one specifically. I might change it also. This one's also set to Navi as its home base. I'm better off now making sure that it's actually operating from in here somewhere. So I'll set up this one where Exene is possibly its home base, and I'll set this one up as a attack. So it will then find attack targets within its range. Its range has been set to 100m, so it's going to be fairly large. So from there, that's its attack range now. So we will attack targets that it finds in that range. So we'll start to sort of clean out this region. The second is now moving back to pick up troops. The third is moving in at this stage. They're still sort of operating to come back into the Anarche 2 mining station. The 4th is the back over through here. That's fine. The 5th is down here, just defending this one. The 6th doesn't have a home system just yet, so it is going off to attack the Gemini Raider, which is that still here? Yes, it is. So we'll let that one go through. Might as well just unpause now and watch it do its thing. I might just grab a glass of water. Be right back. It's very dangerous to leave distant worlds when you're doing other things. Now, where's that? It's under attack by pirates. I won't worry about that one. There's nothing I can really do about that one. Decline that. The frigate is under attack. Pirates as well. And this one here. Incoming fleet detected. Now this is the 3rd defense fleet, an enemy fleet of the Ublalai in Edenic Abyss has been detected travelling towards the Noble Guide. Now where is that? Let's have a quick look and see. The Noble Guide is a constructor, which is this is Gemini 4. Gemini 4 spaceport, and this one does have Dayuts that aren't controlled by us. Now they've already got landing repulsor groups. These are planetary defenders. Now that's actually, we could liberate this. They've got a resort base. Where's Gemini 4? Way out there. Right, well this, I don't know what this thing was going to be building. So we've got a constructor out here that was coming in to do something. It was coming in to refuel. Well, you can't do that. You've got no fuel. You've got a few resources on board. I think we'll just tell it to escape. Well, it's going to do that anyway. Retrofit. I'll just go and tell it that's its job. So it's going to go back to the Uglug spaceport and retrofit there. Well, the fact that this is a Dayot faction means it was taken over by these guys. That can be something that we actually aim to do as well. But to do that one, I'm sort of thinking we actually take the homeworld and sort of move forward from there. It's quite interesting. There's another Artuk group there, is there? Yeah, Artuk's there. That they're in their empire, and then they've got the Ikaru here as well. It's on this continental planet, so they've actually got like a little bit of a presence there. But that would be a nice little world for us. It's a long, long way away. I think we'd need to take the home world before we could do anything else there. Actually, that's one thing we were going to be doing. Actually, well, I forgot about that. When I do remember now that we were going to set up a bombardment, to reduce these planets right down and prepare them for invasion. So I think we might do that now as well. Let's just go and get the. Did we ever build? I don't think we ever built one as an actual bombard ship. I think that was going to be the last thing we did with our designs. So we've got the active buildable designs. I will sort it by role. So with the groups that we actually have now, to build one of those, we don't need a fast moving ship to do the bombardment. So I could just use, now I've already used the, I've only got one destroyer design. I've got 4 different frigate designs. And so I'm using is the fleet frigate, which is sort of like middle of the road combination of weaponry and firepower. The heavy frigate though doesn't have as much. This is a slower ship, so it's sort of ideal. It'll have like other things it can do. So let's go and start there, and let's just go and set this one to manual. So we'll actually end up just sort of building this one up, and we'll just go and do an upgrade. So we'll just get it so that we've got like a starting point, and we'll just call this one the bomber or something like that. Destroyer. No, destroyer is a class of ship. Destructo. Destructo Mark 1. So this will be the, and we'll use this one for the bombardment. So this one is going to be, and this one will upgrade too. So I'll just do all of the housekeeping for this one. So it's going to be aggressive. Neutral I'm happy with, because this is not going to be really an attack ship. Retreat when 20%. I think what we'll do is, I think I'll still do the 2050 there. I do like the 2050. When shields are below 20% or armor below 50%, then run away. Invade colonies immediately. Position with fleet. Excuse me, is fine. And so we want this one to be upgrade to the latest design for the largest hull for the role. No, latest design for the role. Latest design for the hull. Yeah, so this will be essentially, we're going to want to go in and make sure that if it's a heavy frigate, it's going to be a bombard ship. It's going to be always just doing this particular one. Now this one here, so if we just go back across, you can see that we've got some large areas we can actually go and place on these, and so we will actually end up sort of just let's get rid of all of this stuff and start from scratch, and we'll start to sort of then design. Now we've only got 3 engines, they're full. That means we're going to be traveling pretty slow with everything we've got. We do have swarm targeting. Now this one's going to give me targeting, and we then going to end up with extra targeting per fleet ship, which is fine. And we've got the short-range sensor array. Again, I'm fine with that on this ship, to be honest, so I'm going to keep those where they are. We do have a few empty slots. We'll see how we go. Let's go back in, and again, I wish the game would remember what you choose. This is the 2 columns that we see through here. This is the filtering, and then this is the sorting. So filter, and at the moment it's just saying, just show me everything, and that's not what we want. This becomes overwhelming as you start to go through the tech tree. So I want to have the latest per category and family, and so basically it's going to be, like if you go latest per category, it can then skip out certain things, and by what it means there is that when we have a look at actually we'll have a look at down through here, when we do this one, but latest per category and family just means that if there's a family within a category that hasn't been updated, it will show the latest for that family. There may be a way to show this actually in what we're doing. Let's just go and do it anyway. And so the and so this is the sorting. So the sorting, I want to have bay type, then the category, then the family, then the size. So that's going to be the way of categorizing that one through there. What that means is that when we sort of see any of the three letter sort of acronyms or whatever they are in through this other side are the actual category that they're the category is the so then they are the categories. And down through here, for example, you're going to sort of see that you've got this is WCL. This is a close-in weapon. So the weapons will start with W. So this one here is an area weapon. So this is an Intimidator Surge Blast. This is the Atomic Devastator, the one that we're going to be placing on this particular ship. So we're going to be placing. I can only put 2 of them on these because they're size 40. So they're going to be what we use for the bombardment. And you can see down through here with it, if I go, I don't know if it'll show, I don't know if it'll get rid of anything else that we see. Sometimes the, like things like the Sentinel, we get this one fairly early on in the grand scheme of things, but it comes from a different family of weapons. See how it's got intercept weapons and then beams? The family is beams. But the buckler repeating blaster through here is, for example, intercept weapons blasters. And so we've got 2 different types of interceptor. In fact, we've got a missile one through there. So these are the latest per family. If I go and change that one to latest per category, we may end up with less. Oh no, we still end up with it there as well. All right, no, forget that. I'll still put it back down to family. I do like to just have that little classification, because sometimes, particularly in the weapons, you can miss things. So what we've got is we've got the 2 large mounts, which we want to put the Atomic Devastators on. The Atomic Devastator, if we have a look at this one through here, it's got a bombardment for infrastructure of 4, a bombardment for military of 20. So it will actually sort of bombard the the actual the troops, and to essentially remove the troops from the ground. It doesn't do as much against population, so only 2 for the population, and then the bombardment for the quality of the planet as well will be 4. But this will eat through the troops. I don't know if it was always that structure. I've got a funny feeling it was actually much more damaging to infrastructure and population in particular back in the day. So it really doesn't. It can only really be used on the planet. So let's go in, and we can only place it. It's size 40, which means we can only put it on our large mounts. So we have one there. Oops, hang on, not what did that one do? Atomic Devastator. There and there. They're the only 2 mounts we can actually go and place it on. So we've got 2 Atomic Devastators now on this ship. Just move it so we can sort of see the size. God, we're nearly actually, that's nearly sort of taken up everything. Just putting those 2 on there. Now, other ships, other weapons, you'll sort of, if we start to hover over these, beams are useless at doing bombardment. You can see there's a whole range of different sorts of things you can then to get with different rates and stuff. But so they're not going. So the beams aren't going to be any use. The blaster is going to do a little bit of damage, just 1. The railgun, nothing at all. The central beam, we probably do want to put one of these on the ship, so I will just go and throw one of these into that slot there, just to get the, just in case we have to defend the ship against missiles or anything. And if we have a bit of a look down through, we've then got the various missiles will then do things as well. So if we go back to the medium missile, this one does have no bombardment, but I'm pretty sure the torpedo does. Yeah, this one's actually got bombardment against infrastructure is 4, so this one does actually 4 damage there. Military is 4 as well. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that. That's actually not bad. If we have a quick look at this one here, that's only size 30. This one's size 40 for the Atomic Devastator. If I hover over them, we can see there that the bombardment for infrastructure is pretty much the same. The military, it's massively more powerful to get the other one to do this one. The population is, population is the same, and then the quality of the planet, we actually, the Devastator does more damage to the quality. Yeah, I think I might actually change this around. So we might only put 1 Atomic Devastators and then just use the Epsilon torpedoes here to sort of do the rest of the damage. And I can actually ultimately end up with a lot of these on the actual ship itself. So if I go and throw them all on, and we're now already way over in terms of size. Let's just go and place that one at the back there. That gives me Epsilon torpedoes, Atomic Devastator. So we're actually, we're 535 out of 490. So we're 45 more than what we can have on this particular ship. These shouldn't really have to protect themselves all that much. So I might get rid of one of the shields. And I'll also probably get rid of one of the engines. So if we throw one of the engines away, this is going to then make these even slower. So they're down to 47 sprint speed now and 42 cruise speed. That's now got them down to 515. So we're still, what's that? We're still 25 away. Now we have fuel cells there, velocity drive. There's nothing else we can really get rid of out of there. We are going to need all of that. We may have to get rid of one of the torpedoes. I could ditch another engine. Just have a single engine. I'll take it down to 33. This will be really slow. It'll be really slow. I think getting the shields themselves are also, these are size these are size 20. If I got rid of that, I'll put the engine back in. That takes it down to only 5 away now. The swarm targeting is something we could ditch because we're not going to need that. That's size 10. So I'll throw that one away. We've still got the short-range sensor array on this thing. That's pretty much all we've got. I do have a trace scanner here as well, which will give me a little bit of extra targeting, and that will get me right on the number. That way we've got massive firepower, a little bit of speed, nothing too much. We are losing a shield, and I really can't do anything else, I don't think. I mean, ideally I would have, like, it's not going to be all that protected. But that sort of works, you know, like in terms of just raw firepower, this thing is a bit of a beast. Actually, we'll go to aggressive there as well. So we'll just go aggressive. Everything else is sort of established. So this is the Destructo, so it's going to be very, very much Epsilon torpedoes. Now, we also then we can use the escorts as a supplement to this one. So, and we won't need very many of these in a fleet, so I'll make this one the next fleet that we end up getting. That one I'm pretty happy with. Yeah, just don't quite have the space for anything else. So we'll save and exit that one. So the Destructo heavy frigate now is also now set to manual, and we'll go now to the easiest way. You can go and actually just cobble together your own fleets if you're wanting to. Hi Shin, how you going? And saying greetings from Seattle, welcome. And the expansion says Mark Davies. Well, we're trying to now expand into this region. I didn't know, I couldn't remember what I was up to in this game, so I just was thinking, well, that's one thing we're going to be doing is trying to expand. So because I didn't know where we were. Not a very good name, but it was yeah, it would have been you know, spiders versus monkeys would probably be more applicable at this point in time. The Ikaru are sort of like a bear monkey type group, a little bit, and we're playing sort of as more of an insectoid sort of spider faction. All right, so we've got the so that is now done. So you can just go and start to build your fleets up manually, but I find the easiest way is to come back into your military tab, and then you've got the fleet templates and fleet creation. And so I'm going to go to the actual fleet templates in through here. Now we've got invasion forces and stuff, but we don't actually have a bombard group. So I'm just going to go and create a new fleet. So add new. And so this is going to be a new, this is going to be the bombard fleet. Bombard, there we go, bombard fleet. So that'll be the name of it. Trim excess ship, I'm going to disable this one. This just means I can then overpower the fleet. If you leave that one where the trim excess ships is enabled, which is the default, it means it will get rid of ships that don't belong in that fleet and just have them roam around, you know, not part of a fleet. And I don't want that. I do want to be able to add other ships in if I need to, above what the design is for the actual ship itself. The fleet role here is I'm going to probably set it to what should I do? Probably attack. I think attack is fine. This is the default role. We can sort of set that one up differently as well. So the roles we can't edit, but the actual fleet composition we can. So we're going to go into the fleet engagement range. This is the defaults for it. I think same system is fine. We don't really want them going off and doing anything else. In fact, probably just same location, to be honest. Ships reassign positions, that's fine. Retreat strategy when the enemy strength is... well, we should probably want them to go if the enemy fleet becomes too strong. So I will actually go and just do the 50% greater. And the formation very tight is fine as well. In fact, I might just make it tight. That way we just fan out a little bit around the planet to then bombard it. That's all good. Let's add some items. So we've got ourselves, we do actually have the escort, and we'll start with the frigates. So we want to go with the heavy frigate, so the latest design for this hull heavy frigate, or we go with the actual this specific type. So we'll go with Destructo Mark 1 for that particular one. So the frigate will actually have that one through there, and we'll make it so that it's got maybe 5 of those. That's about all we'll need with the combination that they have. And I'm pretty sure it was the little escorts had the the extra. I'll just go and remove, just go and close that one for now. So have a quick look at the designs. So we had the heavy escort was the one that we were using. Just have a quick look at that and see what that one's got. Yeah, these have got Epsilon torpedoes as well. So they can help with the bombardment. So they can actually sort of end up just being a little bit of a protection and aid the bombardment of the planet as well. So we'll just go and cancel that one. You know, we may actually have enough power with the other ship. Look, I'll just keep it with what it's got. We've got the heavy escort there, so I'll just go back in. We'll have a dedicated bombard ship. But I can actually use the fleets to bombard anyway. And so if we go back into fleet templates, so we have the bombard fleet. We'll just go back and edit that one. And add an item. So this will just be the escort, and this will be the heavy escort. It's designed for the heavy escort, and we'll just put in, say, maybe 3 of those. That'll be enough. So we'll just get these. That'll be the bombardment fleet. So once we've actually now done that one, we can then just close that one off. It becomes available into here. The build cost is going to be 62,000. Maintenance of 2,700. 8 ships in the actual fleet, and I can just go and tell them to build. So I'm just going to go and build a new one, and it will then sort of put it at the best all the way down. The spaceports will be faster. So I'll go to Lamtrini 4, which is our home base, and just tell them to go and build it there. Done. And so that now sets up the 10th fleet. I'll just go Control 0 so I can actually pick it up. So 0 will be the hotkey for the 10th fleet. And so this is now going to be constructed, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it that its home system is always going to be where it starts off from, but we'll end up moving this one up here as well. And what else do we have? It's just a ship. I thought we had a yeah, we need to get rid of that. This is ultimately where we'll end up being. Let's make this the home base for the 10th fleet. So they'll just automatically come out this way. So if we have a look at the 10th fleet, they're set at the moment to attack, which is fine. I'll just leave it on that roll there. So they're going to be fairly powerful just in their own right, but they're going to be quite slow. So they will ultimately be able to reduce planets. This one here is now coming back through. So these are now just going off and doing their own thing. So they're now just going off and attacking wherever there's a station. So this one's a very, very good station, actually. Now this is the 4th fleet. What's it doing there? I think I'll just tell the 1st to go after this fleet. Attack the hostile Inquisitor. So we'll just keep these things, just trying to keep everything. Actually, we do want to get this one. No, I'll get this one to destroy this one first. Now, we do have a little bit of boarding assault strength, but not a hell of a lot. Let's attack that one first. So they're moving in. Yeah, at maximum we have 659. Well, we're heading off this way, actually. This is a Gemini 4. Ugh. I'm going to decline that one. Gemini 4 was too far away. It would be good to get out there. Oh, Sakirans, we've now found them. They've got the Harp of Caritas, enormous stringed musical instrument made from the finest succulus wood. What does that one do? I'm not sure what that. Let's actually have a quick look and see where they actually are. So this is actually at diplomacy. We'll just move across to it. So we're over here. Secure an independent colony. Let's have a quick look and see what we're up to here. I'll just dismiss that message. Now that's a little bit too far away from where we are, so we're in here. But they do actually, the artifacts can be very, very useful. So they like desert moons. I think the Securins are coming in the next DLC, you know, the next of the faction DLCs. This one here. Yeah, okay, so it does actually give war weariness reduction, actually, which is pretty good. It wouldn't be bad. So we could actually take that world, but it's just a little bit too far away from us, and it just means we have to then defend it. So I think we'll just sort of keep everything sort of just doing what it's doing. Make sure these are all set to automate. I'll just double check those just while we're looking at these. Construction yards, construction ships, just make sure they're all auto. Yep, then they're all auto. Everyone else is on auto, that's fine. Right, I don't know why we had those off. Okay, so the first is still just get them to keep on attacking. They'll just attack anything they can find in this region. So we do want to go and set this one up now and actually build a large mining station here. And this will become the main base. Actually, with the first, I will get them now to go off and kill this group. Now we have an advantage in hyperspace. We actually travel a lot faster than anyone else. Yep, so Madman is saying Daz playing the Dayots. Last time you fought them, you had a hard time. Yes, they can be a difficult faction. Now we have one angry colony, but it won't be able to rebel. It's only that small group in this same system. Getting detailed stuff just from loot that we're finding. Here we go. We've got a fuel barge coming in to refuel this group. There's a fuel barge there, fueling these guys up as well. So that is an attack group there. Where are they off to? Moving to Agathidemon 3 mining station, wherever the hell that is. There it is. They're moving out to here. So there's an unknown presence there. All right, well, that's another refueling station. So, and we don't know what's there. We haven't actually gone there yet. We do actually have, no, we don't even have that one there. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the first. I'm just going to micromanage what they do. So we'll set this one up to move to that one there. So we'll bounce in on top of them. Now this is going to spread us out a little bit, but we'll get there before them, and then we can prepare the road. Now they've got a bit of a jump on us. They're now leaving our range of what we can see. And so we'll move out. The third will move in. The third will actually then be able to sort of take over anything that's happening in through there. The second is now gone. The sixth is still, they've got no mission. I'm just going to set them up to defend. And what's their area? They've only got the single area. That's fine. I'm happy for them to defend just that one little zone. Now they're going to get there before us simply because we've actually, or maybe not. Yeah, no, they will, because we travel about a third faster, but they've got like a fair bit of a jump on us. We're going to get there almost at the same time. You've got unknown ships, so we're keeping them close enough to be able to see what's going on. We should start to see them. This is fairly interesting. Now we're losing track of them as we go past, but our ships themselves will now start to see them. So the ships that were actually out here were being attracted by, probably was a long-range scanner. Just turn that on. Yeah, we had a long-range scanner back out through here, which was able to track them a little bit, and it's now lost them. But our ship themselves have now sort of gone and just turn that long-range scanner off. Our ships are now spread out, but we do actually have ships at the front here who are now starting to go close in on them. So we're jumping faster than what they are. And so we're picking up still unknown ships in through this other side. If I go and pick up one of my ships, the Outcast of Lamtrini. So this is a heavy escort which is bouncing in here. And so this is possibly the one that's actually now picking up the enemy fleet that we're sort of seeing in through this other side. If we go and have a look at the what it's got on board, it's got a short-range sensor array. Yeah, so I'm using the short-range sensor arrays on the escorts just because it's not a great thing that adds to the actual overall combat rating of the ship. But for the little escorts, it's fine just to have a ship that does actually have the scanning power of just being able to see what's around them. And so in this case, because I've got escorts in every fleet, so I'm using dedicated combat scanners for all the other ship designs. But for this one here, these just use the sensor arrays, and it gives them a scanning power of 100 at a scanning range of 1M. So 1M is fairly broad. If there's cloaking, it won't be quite as much. If you press the Alt key, and then you can this will display distances. If you then go and click and then start to draw it out, 1K is there. So this ship is scanning out to there. It's not enough for it to be able to identify this ship out through here, but it is as we start to get closer to these other ships. So as it gets closer, its scan out will actually end up picking up what these ships actually are as we go past them. We already know what they are because of what was happening before. But if we just sort of zoom on in, and as we go forward, we'll now start to see exactly what they are because of the scanning power of those little escorts. So everyone's sort of now zooming in. So we're going to come in right on top of them, essentially. In fact, we're going to pass them. We're passing them in space. We're going to the same location. Now they're coming in to try to refuel. If we have a quick look at them, if I just sort of grab the fourth fleet from their side of things, a few of their frigates are low on fuel. They've still got some fuel, but just not quite enough. There we go. The scanner has now just picked up what this is, the mining station. So it now knows what's what. Our first fleet again, we're actually up to good boarding assault strength. There is a thing I can do here as well to stop them from using it until I'm ready. But I forget how to do it. There's a way to do it. Yeah, it's not that one. It's funny, I thought there was a way that I could actually change how they work, because they will actually use this just doing other things themselves. They won't they sort of spend it during combat, and I prefer them not to, but I can't remember how to do it. There is a way. I know there's a way, but you can't get there. Hi Kevin, how are you going? Saying, hey Daz, good news. The art team is going to be done with the Pirate expansion this month, getting close to release. Cool. So Jevon CZ, if you're watching in Twitch, is actually one of the devs, one of the art devs for the game. So he's done an incredible job, right from before launch. So that's cool. That's really cool. So. Yeah, thanks for that. That's thanks for the info. So, okay, we're waiting to notice. Yeah, there we go. I've noticed now. So I do get sort of caught up. No, it's an incredible game. This just Distant Worlds, just by far now my favourite Space 4X. So looking forward to the expansion. So am I actually. I'm really looking forward to it as well. So that's really quite cool. So we've got the placeholder for it, but we don't actually have the. I'm on the beta team, but I haven't actually even looked at it because I don't want to look at it until it's really close. Because I get a bit jaded with when I'm beta testing games, and then by the time I'm allowed to show them, I'm sort of not as excited as I should be. So Orangutan saying, thanks for all the amazing work that you and all the team do on the game. Yeah, exactly. It's an incredible game. To fans, so I'm going to go do right by myself. Yeah, there we go. So Adam Stool is saying, give it to us cooked, please. I'm not sure what you mean by that. As in, you mean like polished? I'm not sure what you mean by cooked. So anyway, so actually we've got on YouTube. Okay, so we've got some comments on YouTube. I'll just go through the ones that I got up to. Thought you had latest DLC, says Mark. No, I don't. No. So yeah, it's not. Yeah, God, I've got to stop using words like expansion. You're right. To preview. No, not yet. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do that one. They'll let me know probably within days of being able to do it. So I won't have much. I won't have much notice of when I'm allowed to show it. If it's a preview update, Codeforce did sweat for FA again, says Big Toolie. Not as bad as Stellaris though. I'd give them that caveat, and also better graphic user interface than Total War. And Big Toolie's also saying, I would hope Codeforce takes their time and actually does do something better for Distant Worlds 2 fans. I'm not sure what you're referring to again, if it's the pirate faction. Jevon's sort of saying it's. I have no clue on the timing of that stuff personally. Yes, no, I know that a lot of these things are kept pretty close to the powers that be. Anyway, let's just keep on going. I'm trying to figure out how to stop them from using the boarding assault strength, and I can't remember how to do it. I can't remember how to do this one. It's because I don't want them using it in combat. I thought it was in here, but it's not. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's part of the design. If I just go back across to the Fleet Frigate designs, you can sort of change things up in here as to how they work. Invade colonies immediately. I mean, that's not really suitable for us. I don't think that has any bearing. It's in. Oh, that's right. It's in Empire settings. You're right. That does ring a bell. So if we go back across into the policies and military, I think. Wasn't in policy something to do with troops? Yeah, thank you, orangutans. Maybe it is under troops. Recruitment. Nope, it's not there. It must be under military. Capture condition for ships. So when enemy ships should be captured instead of destroyed. Never. Capture conditions for bases. That's sort of okay, I guess. Manually assign bombard missions. Where the ships and bases will manually assign bombard missions to follow. Yeah, that's okay. I'll just leave that one through there. Disassemble, enlist, disassemble, upgrade. This is all the automation, or part of the automation in the game. There's a lot in here. No, it's not there. Okay, so it's not under military. That's not it either. That's the focusing. So it's not in there. Construction. God, where else would it be? Fleets? Yeah, it's in here somewhere. But I'm not sure where. Research, it won't be that. It's got to have been where we had a look. It's got to be in here. Capture conditions for ships. Yeah, so note the attacker must also have assault pods, which is what we've got. We're being near capture conditions. like the tech level settings or something. But it's been, yeah, I can't remember. It's sort of annoying. I wish it was actually off by default. Oh, I can't see it there. I really got no idea. This military ship, the captured military ship should be enlisted in your empire. Yeah, I really can't think of what it is. I feel also the capturing conditions. Yeah, setting to never was the setting. So it's manual. Okay, so you mean like the bases one? Do you think that's what it is? It's just that they don't seem to. We'll go never. All right, we'll try that and see. See how we go with that. So yeah, let's just go that way, and hopefully that will then sort of retain the group. We'll test it and see if that one does for them work. So we're here in front of them. Oh, good. They've kept their formation. Now the other group's going to come in right behind them. Here they come, or right in front of them. Now, the reason that they came in front of us, if we have a bit of a look, there's a bit of a random aspect to it. They've got the Jerex hyperdrive, and the jump accuracy is 4250. Let's have a quick look at ours. Ours is using the velocity drive, which is actually our jump accuracy is even better than theirs, but we didn't that's fine. Like, I'm happy enough with that. It means that we're starting off straight away with this attack. So we'll just go and start to attack this guy. Yeah, they're right on top of us. Which sort of works out well for us. So they'll hit what they can with all this firepower. This is good. They're not using up this, which is fine. The next one, I'm just right clicking on the ships as we're doing this. So we're just targeting all the ships all at once. These are the torpedoes coming in, the other ones are the beams. They're trying to move away now. Yeah, this is good. We've got all the boarding assault strength now. Good. Big attrition. They're escaping. They've gone. All right, they're out of there. Now there's fuel barges that also came in. We're going to now take over this one. Actually, no, there we go. See how they've used some. Why? Why did they use that? God, I find that annoying, actually. Very, very annoying. Yeah, just to see if there's any other comments about how I could have done that better. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's go and now capture this. We'll just do a capture the Agatha Demon 3 mining station. This is a good refueler for us. So what we have to now do is whittle away its shielding. Now they've signed a to lead their recent declared war. So they've declared war against against the ones that we're fighting as well. So that's a welcome addition. Welcome friend in there. Now we're getting through the shielding a little bit and doing damage to the actual armor. Some of the weapons that we're using. So we've still got 479. I hope that's enough. Now again, we're not on there, but we're losing. What the hell? I hate this. I hate that it does this. We've told it to capture, yet it's actually wasting troops somewhere. And I don't know where. I don't know how this happens. This is incredibly frustrating. Damn it. It's so difficult to figure out where that actually is. There must be something else. There must be another setting. I know I've found it once before. I know I found it. These are just the preferences. But it's so annoying when you've got a plan to capture and then you end up with that actually happening. It's so annoying. There's nothing there. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully, I don't think we're going to have enough now to do this. We should have troops on board. Don't have anyone on board yet. Why aren't they doing that one? Now we do. Yeah. Damn it. Okay. Forget that. Forget it. We've lost our opportunity now. So we'll just destroy it. Very frustrating. Okay, so now this is the third fleet has just come in to do their own thing as well. So we'll set this one up as a large mining station. This will be important for us to start to pick up the refueling points along the way. And we've got other little groups in through here as well. So these different mining stations, I'll just get the first to come down and destroy all of these. And we'll start to sort of pick up other bits and pieces. Now there's pirates going off. Not sure if they're on our side or not. I can't remember which ones are friendly and which ones aren't. I think in here everything's pretty friendly. In terms of with us, actually that's a different group. Hemingway Gangsters. Actually they're pleased with us, so we've got military refueling with them. We've got non-aggression pact with them as well. So yeah, most of the pirates around us are going to be friendly to us. Okay, we're now coming in. Here comes the third. They're just doing their stuff automatically. New frigates, here we go. Oh, enemy admiral captured. Now that was, where was that? That was back here at Anarchy. So we've actually captured another, like an enemy admiral. That's good. And these are still just rattling their way through. So these are still set to manual. So I'm still saying I like the option of not every race needs to conquest the map. Yes, no, it's quite interesting. I mean, we do. We have an enslavement. We have a look at the victory conditions here. So we're leading the game. The Mortlands are coming second. So we've actually fulfilled most of our racial conditions. The one that we don't actually have is that we need to enslave other races. Your colonies, 25% of your empire's total population. So when we do take over these worlds, the idea is that we enslave. So we've enslaved a little bit. We've enslaved like 1 billion people at the moment. So we're at 23% of the progress for that particular one to then get that particular deal. But everyone's got different ones. Like this one here, They need to have the most experienced admiral, which they have the most experienced general, which they've got at that as well. Conquer the most enemy colonies, they're at 40% of what they needed, but it's actually, I think we would be the ones that probably would be leading that one, but it's not one of our conditions. 20% win at least 60% of our wars. They haven't, that's on 0, that's interesting. Vassalize the most empires in the galaxy, they've got 0 of those as well. That's the reptilians. Then we've got an insectoid group, spend the most time at war, so they've actually spent 21 years at war. Build the most military ships in the galaxy, so they're at 90% of that one. So the Mortallans have actually got more. The Mortallans have actually have built 164 military ships, and so they're just a little bit behind them. Have the most colonies in the galaxy, so the Mortallan security again have got 18 colonies, so they're actually advancing very, very quickly. We're going to have to crush the Mortallans, actually looking at this. Capture the most ships and bases in the galaxy. That's Draconia Oligarchy. So 2 captured ships and bases. Well, only 2. That's that's interesting. Yeah, we're Lamtrini. And then we've got the Quaminos in through here. They've hardly got anything. Have the fewest. The Actarians have got even less. Here's the Actarians in through here. Control the largest ocean colony. Perform the most research, so they're doing fairly well there. But the Mortallans again have actually are leading the research. I thought we would be, to be honest, because we've really been investing a lot in it. These ones control the most homeworlds, so they've got just their own homeworld, which still gives them 100%. But if we take over the other world, then that's going to drop from them. Destroy the most enemy ships. The Quamino have destroyed 133 enemy ships, so not us. Destroy the most enemy troops. 4% through there. Exterminate or enslave the most people in the galaxy. So they're sort of almost the same sort of thing as what we have through there. Humans have the most defense treaties. They've got 1 of them there. Perform the most research in the galaxy. Again, the Mortallans have done more, which is unusual because that's not really what they do. But they are, you can see they're economically, they're actually a bit of a powerhouse, and they're getting stronger and stronger. Here's the ones we're up against. Control the largest forest colonies in the galaxy. They've got Uberli 5, so that's the biggest one. Have the most spaceports in the galaxy. They're only at 38% there. Make free trade agreements. So this one is much more about being friendly, and this one here is different again. Lose the fewest colonies. They've lost 0. Control 25%. These ones are struggling a little bit economically. This is the Draconia Oligarchy that featured before. This is actually Xenox. Lose the fewest troops in the galaxy, so they've lost a few. Explore 100% of the galaxy. They've explored 68 systems of 700, so they're a long way off. They need to control ruins, build the galactic archives. They're more of a late game bloomer in terms of what they can then go and do. Here's the Teekans, so they're off in the corner there somewhere, I think. Start the fewest wars. The Draconia Oligarchy have got 0 wars. They've started 0. Destroy the most Vorticars. They've done a fair few of those. That's sort of one of the things that they do well. They've got iron weapons, and Vorticars don't really fight well against iron weapons. And then the Denbolt. This is the one that we've actually sort of just like we've crushed them. Really, they're subjugated to us, so they're just a fraction of what they were. Anyway, we're still a long way off getting to the victory threshold, which is there. So still got a long way to go. But we're only leading because we've actually done the most of our actual racial bits and pieces. Comes the 3rd fleet as well. So they're trying to jump. Still in the fight. Now, might just get mining stations wherever there's an opportunity. So we're sort of in the Wild West out here, really, like where this is. This is sort of like we're now fighting for the frontiers. Okay, so we've got the Hive. Now we've stolen this. So mission complete. So Konid Gotraz has been detected after successfully carrying out their mission to steal research information on Hive starfighters from the Actarian Stellar Union. This is good. While the mission succeeded, our agent's exposure will have diplomatic consequences. So this actually gives us like a more powerful fighter. So we end up with the with basic. What did we get there? We only get the small hive hanger. Now the hive hanger doesn't come from the Actarians. It comes from the Gizarians. If we have a bit of a look, it's probably not really all that great. If we have a look at the where we are with the hive hangers, back in here somewhere. Where are we? There it is. Hive. Yeah, this is a Gizarian. It does give where this is useful is the small hive fighter bay has got 4 fighter capacity. So the basic fighter, basic bomber is the same as what we have in through here. So we don't get anything else there, but we double the capacity of the fighter bay. So it just means we can squeeze more in, which is actually very, very valuable if we do end up going that way. Now, in terms of crashing the research, we're still a long way off, I think. It's now going to cost 125, and I don't have that yet either. I'm on 119. I'll just put the, this is, home base is Exene. Just put them back to attack again. Now the third is already just set to automation. They're set to raiding. So they'll go and destroy infrastructure in around this region. So everyone's sort of now just doing their own thing. With the sixth is just looking after that system. And there's their admiral imprisoned. So it's imprisoned on that particular fleet. Geez, pretty good admiral actually. Getting close now to what we need. Sort of go up a little bit more. This thing's slowly being built. So the invasion force is now moving back away from the Anarche system. Just go up to normal speed now that nothing much is happening. All right, we now have enough. So we'll just go, oops, not what we needed. But just go back into here, and we'll now just pay the costs to crash the research. And so we're now going to sort of, that will then speed this one right up. So we'll get this one done in less than a year now. And then we may then sort of start to do another retrofit to the various ships. Pick up a computer core there. Accept war mission. Capture this research station. Well, we'll try it. I don't like our chances, to be honest. Let this one build up again. Frigate completed, that's fine. So just finding maps in the debris. And then we'll start to prepare for the assault in through here. If we have a quick look at our resources and go to Caslon, dependent colony, they've got artifacts as well. So there's a lot of Caslon around. If we can't go from there to there, this is the last Caslon pretty much in this region. So we're going to ultimately end up in control of most of this, I would think. So then the next step is going to be in here, in the Imphala system. So we'll probably send out the first to capture that research base, and then send them out into here to capture this as a refueling point. and then that'll be the stepping stone into the Ublali system, which will be their home system. So we can then sort of come out to here and then bounce across this other side. So that's fine where that is. Then we'll soften those planets right up and then do the invasion. So the second is still coming back in for what they need to do. So the fuel tankers are fueling up, or just getting ready for the next phase. So picking up money again. Another general, which we don't really need. Now, once we get this one, it's the next level after this, which is the one that we really want. And actually getting some defense bases in around some of these locations would actually be good. There goes the invasion force now getting back home again. So we do have a little bit of combat. So they're just going off to destroy whatever they can find. It's just the third fleet. This is the 5th Defence Force. They're just going and... oh, that's a forest moon there. Oh, that's one of ours. That's one that we've actually got with Ikaru on it. There's an unknown resource there. And there's that one. That's out here. That's okay. Yeah, so there's a friendly pirate there. Abandoned ship encountered. So we'll have a quick look at this one. We'll investigate. Okay, so we've picked this one up. This is now what do we end up getting here? Just pause that for a second. So we've got a one of our fleets. This is the 7th Defence Force has come in and got close enough to this ship to activate it. So this is a world founder, and the passengers on board are Artooks. Don't really need them. This is sort of like an ancient ship. It's got the vector engine. Yeah, this is actually worth pulling apart. I don't really need to be colonizing anything, I don't think. Dismiss that one. Maybe we'll have a quick look and see if there is opportunity. Go back to, where is it? Colonies. New colonies. Yeah, no, I won't worry about it. I'll just go and pull this one apart. So what I'll do is I'll pull it apart at one of our slave colonies. We've got a few slave ships. It's trying to escape from something. Just go back to the slave ships, which are in here. This is the slave colonies. The Ulug Penal Colony. So we'll just go and pull this one apart. So we'll unload passengers there, and actually we'll retire at Ulug. That way, they'll be put into slavery on this penal colony, and that'll be the end of them, really. So they're fully assimilated there. So we're sort of making good money from these penal colonies. That'll do. That way we don't have to think about it. Now, what are we doing there? That's the first fleet. And we did have that other mission, and we're back up to full strength here. Yes, well, let's try again. Let's just try to reduce this one. In that case, we'll attack it to get the shielding down. frigate. Okay, they're under attack, but we're right here. So there's pirates sort of coming in to raid this particular world. They shouldn't be able to really do much, to be honest. So I don't think we have to worry about that one. Let's just go back out again to the to this attack going in. So we've got welcome guys, Goatee Raiders. So welcome to the channel. We're just in the middle of a war with the Uberlalai and Endemic Bliss, which is sort of like a mammalian or primate-based group. We're actually an insectoid. Now they've sent out their small craft, so they've got the small craft in through here. One thing we can do with this as well, like we just have to monitor what's happening with this station. When this one comes down, we then want to take it over. So the first fleet is coming in. We've just got to hope that we keep enough boarding assault strength to take this. This is a research station. It's one of the... we need this war mission here to be done. The raiders have been pushed away from that planet. If you've got any questions about the game or want to sort of know what we're up to with the summaries or anything, then just sing out. So we're doing fairly well. So this one here, we've got the outer ring there is the shielding. So the shielding is now coming down. When it gets down to 0, I can then put troops on top there. So we'll just wait for this to be reduced. There we go, almost done it. All right, that's got it, and nearly the armor is now almost done as well. So there still will be possibly, like there'll still be torpedoes and things actually on its way, which will then sort of do damage as well. But I'll just go back to the first now, and we've still got the full boarding assault strength. So we'll now just do a prepare and capture this particular one, which means that they'll end up, they should drop at about the same time. So this has now been damaged a little bit. So they're just going to do minimal attacks to it. There they go. So they're now pushing the transports in. And we only have 200 at this stage. We need to get a few more. So their Marines will then be trying to push back against ours. Come on, we need more troops. Our fleet has got a total of 600, but it's we'll be losing a little bit as we go. The Ikaru, who we're actually going up against, actually they've got an advantage in this sort of combat. There goes another one, another group. And it should be enough. Oh, it's very, very tight. There's not more going in. There we go. That'll be enough. That should then give us the advantage. Yep. So we now have the advantage there. Just pause for a second, have a quick look at these. Destroy enemy troop facility. This is at Uberli 5. I'll accept that one because we're going to be going off and bombing that world soon enough. Under attack by Gravelex. That's okay. We can't do much about that one. Now, they're wanting to end the war. They're going to give up certain things. I'm going to decline this. We have no war weariness yet. So I'm going to say no because I want more from them. And we've discovered hyperdrive research and reactor research at Yeselin 4. Let's go and find out where this actually is. Now this has got heaps of bugs around it, like Gravelexes and things. But where is it in the... oh, it's way out over here in no man's land. We're over here, like our home system is in here. These are big distances. We're fighting in this region at the moment, trying to sort of capture what we can in here. The enemy's home base is over in here, so that'll be a stepping stone. There's another Dayut world that they've actually got control over in the Gemini system, and so we'll ultimately be wanting to take that as well. But then this other, super location is out here, but it's protected by the Gravelexes. So really can't do much about that one, unfortunately. So we don't know. We're not going to be able to act on that particular one. So anyway, let's keep on going. And America's then saying, Daz, don't you read YouTube comments? I tend to try to have a run and then pause and read. So I miss a lot. If you're trying to grab my attention, do an @DasTactic. Oh, sorry, Began, I didn't see you up there before. If you do an @DasTactic, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube, I'll show you. Like on Twitch, I see the red. Like it's much easier for me to see when people are trying to chat to me on Twitch than it is on YouTube. But YouTube, if someone does an @DasTactic on YouTube, it then highlights a little bit differently. So I end up with a red sort of button, which I don't see all that often, but it's not as bright as the one for Twitch, unfortunately. Here we go. So now here we go. So it's Marek's saying it's in the ship construction menu. There's a setting for capture. Look at the ship construction menu. Right. Let's do that. Sorry, I missed that comment. So ship designs. So let's go and have a look at. It's probably the destroyers that we've got that on. Let's have a quick look and see. So if we go and edit. And it's got to be up in here, doesn't it? It would have to be here. It's not in any of those. Yeah, I wonder where that is to stop them from doing that. Just make sure that we do actually have on this one. Yeah, we've got assault pods in through here. We've got 2 assault pods per destroyer that we actually have. But I'm not sure where the setting actually is. So America then sort of saying ship construction menu. There is a setting for capture. Oh, it's on the plus planet. Plus planet. I'm not sure what you mean. Is this the right place? Or is it ship construction in the automation? Maybe it's under automation. Let's have a look and see. Space priorities, construction ship priorities. Nope, it's not there. Where is it? Where is it? So, yeah. So we're trying to figure out how to stop them from using boarding. They automatically sort of waste their boarding capabilities, and there is a way to sort of stop them from doing it. I found it once before, but I just really can't find it this time. It just doesn't seem to be there. I don't know. Yes, colony invasion settings are used for ship capture. Ah, right. So if we go back to the ship construction, go to the ship designs, go back to our destroyer, go to edit. We've got the assault pods on this one, and so if we then go to invade colonies immediately, I'm guessing that's what you mean, is set the one to never. Even though it says invade colonies, your colony invasion settings are used for ship capture. Wow. Okay, that's really, really not good. Yeah, so orangutan think I've been told, yeah, I've certainly knew how to do it, but that's so unintuitive. This is where the game is not great at the user experience, I've got to say. The user interface, and they are improving it, but it just takes such a long time to do it for the changes to come through. There's a lot to do in the game, and the UX/UI, people do struggle with it. There's lots of little things that are in the game that are essentially, if you don't know that they're there, like this, for example, invade colonies. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know why that would. That's really unintuitive. So I'm guessing that's the one. We'll save and exit that one. So we can make changes to our existing designs from that location. I'm pretty sure we're not using anything on the heavy escort. I'll just have a quick look and see. Yeah, we don't have anything else. Oh no, we do have an assault pod there, so we'll go back into here as well. Just go never. Save and exit. We're not using patrol escort. We'll just go back down into the frigates. We don't use one there. I'll still set it up anyway. And the fleet frigates, actually we've got this one here. We're not, the actual base frigate we're not using at all anymore. That's fine. We'll just we're right on the number there. Just change all of these. Save and exit. And what else do we have? The destructos. Again, we're not going to be doing that one. I mean, we are going to be invading, but we'll just save and exit that one through there as well. All right, that'll do us. Okay, thank you for that, Marek. We'll see how that goes. See if that actually helps with protecting things. So we should have this one now under control. So this one is a mission that we end up having. From here we then get extra war scores, we get happiness, the war weariness from the enemy also goes up, and we end up with research progress plus 25%. Orbital escape launches will also then be done as well. If we can get it, yeah, we should have enough now. So we've got 2 to 1 with our troops, but their troops are very, very strong. That's just pirates raiding that one. There we go. The last Marines on this station. There we go. We got it. So we pick up all that stuff. Just dismiss that one. And so we've now captured that particular one. So that war mission is now done. And the first are still set to manual. So we've just got them doing different things. Actually, I'll just... oh, they stole a lot there. They stole resources from the colony itself, which is not great. If we can find where those pirates are from, we'll go off and destroy them. Now, have we got anything else in here that we need to have? I'm not seeing any other presence in this system. So I think we're sort of done there. I'll just set the first back to attack again in that region. Escort completed. So now coming back. So these are just coming through. The third fleet is essentially, they've been set to raid. So they'll just automatically go off and do their own thing. Yeah, it's the same group there. Now this one as well, the third fleet, like it's raiding targets, just attacking this mining station. They've also got 640 there. This one is actually a Caslon mine. Again, it's a refueling station. So coming into this location would be handy for us to actually have this. So I think what I'll do is I'll capture it. So again, we'll just wait for the shields to go down, which they've almost done. There they go. And now we'll tell the third fleet. So when we give it an actual order, and it will then change the automation. So we'll just go and tell them to prepare and capture. Orders 2. And whenever their shielding comes up, they'll then just do a little bit of destruction. And when they're ready, they should then start to... here they go. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get this one, I don't think. Yeah, they've got too many troops on the ground here. It's not going to work. No, we're being pushed off as fast as we get there. In that case, just destroy it. There we go. Not going to work. So the third needs to just go back to raiding again. So then just to go off and do their thing. All right, so they're now finding other locations. How are we going with that fleet? Yeah, just got one more ship to do. And then we can start to move it off as well to set things up. Now, its home base is Xene anyway, so it's going to be moving up into the Anarche system. What's the third? Moving to Anarche 2 mining station. So there's still little raiding groups that are coming back in. It's a heavy escort. This one's not part of any fleet, so it's just like a raider. The first fleet is now just coming back into... Oh, here we go. All right, so we've actually now completed research in the impact assault blasters. Now what we'll do is we'll just have a quick look at the research tree. So we're getting defensive bases again, but it's this one here that we want, the synchronized output. Actually, that's going to then get me, the damage from each shot now is going to be 45, and it's 13 per second. This is monstrously large. So, so getting that one on board is now going to be something really, really important. Now, it's going to take only 2 and a bit years there, which is actually really not bad at all. If we have a bit of a look at this one, so we've got these that do 9 per second damage. It's sort of, I'll try to explain a little bit about how the weaponry works in the game. It's sort of the way you've got different defenses and you've got different weapons that do different things essentially. So some of them make sense. Essentially, you've got iron weapons, which you haven't really focused much on. Iron cannons do, you can see down there it's got iron damage to engine, hyperdrive, sensor, shields, and weapons. These do like a lot of damage, but not actual damage. This is disabling. So iron weapons disable, and they also are good against vorticars. But we can then end up also with iron shields to try to protect the ships against those. We haven't even got those yet. We might have to start to look at some of these things, I think, because that's something we will need to get at some point. But we haven't really focused on those. But quite often, if you're trying to disable ships, that's a really good way to do it. The different other sorts of weapons we have, like you've got area weapons, torpedoes. Quite often, these will actually be strong against armor, but not against shields. So they bounce off shields. But having said that, in the actual game, there's the shields themselves end up getting better and better, but what actually happens is in the early part of the game, the torpedoes can be really, really good. Like if you have a look at, for example, even at these deflection shields, or even the ones that we've currently got, we've got the more advanced Corvidian shields, but if we start way back in here, you'll see there that there's a shield penetration chance of 25%. That means that 1 in 4 shots is going to bypass the shields and go straight onto the armor. And so when you've got an armor bypass in the early part of the game, and 1 in 4 shots is going to then completely go through the shields and hit the armor, it means you're doing damage to the internals of the ship, which means the ships will then run away. So finding weapons that can actually break through the defensive layers is quite important. But as you then go along, like this then has got like 20% shield penetration chance. This one here is down to 15%. The one that we currently have is now only 10%. So 1 in 10 shots is still going to break through and do damage to the armor. Or if it's got armor bypass like the torpedo weapons, then the torpedo weapon will ultimately then do the it'll actually end up doing sort of damage through you can see down through there, it's got armor bypass of plus 40%, which means that 40% of the shot will actually do damage to the internal, the actual hull and the internal components of the actual ship, of the ship itself. So in the early part of the game, the torpedoes are really, really good, but they do sort of, they diminish a little bit, but they still actually also have the bombard ability as well. So bombardment-wise, that's a good one. In fact, going and getting those, to get this, the level 2, one thing you'll sort of see through here, we're doing 35 damage. That's per torpedo. So the 35 damage per torpedo, it equates to 4.67 per second. And so there's, in their medium, you can see there's two shots per volley. So the actual damage, whether it be small or medium, is the same. It's just the damage per second is higher because they're firing 2 versus 1. And it's sort of, it's one of these things where the actual number of the damage is also very, very important, because there's certain things with, again, with the defenses. If you have a look at the, these have got like a, where is it? Should I just go to one of the more advanced ones? We should see, where is it? Because shield strength there, shield resistance. So the shield resistance is sort of like, I think that the way that the shield resistance works is, I don't think we'll see it on these, on the earlier ones. The shield resistance is like an extra bonus point that you get. So it reduces the attack by 1. So if we're attacking with 35 damage on a shield, it's going to do 34 damage. And we find that gets more and more pronounced. So if we go to this one through here, for example, the shield resistance is 2. So it's reducing the damage, the base damage by a small amount. Excuse me, and armor will do the same thing as well. So we're only early on in the armor. Actually, these are things we should be trying to get. So if you have a look at the layered armor that we currently have, it's got a reactive rating there of 3. So when a weapon actually hits the armor, it's going to take 3 away before it even gets through. So the reactive rating is fairly important, which means that when you've got like high power weapons like the torpedoes, when they do damage to things, like in through here, they're doing 35, but you can imagine like you have to minus like 3 or 4 or whatever it might be. And so ultimately you end up with it being like a bit smaller than what it actually would be. So the damage per second is not as impactful as actually trying to, in your mind, weigh up the defenses. And so 30 damage going into something is still fairly substantial. But if we look at a railgun as an example, the railgun weaponry through here, the medium railgun, does double the damage per second because because the rate of fire is so much stronger. So it actually does 7.2 damage per second, but it only does 11 damage. Now imagine the ratings there of saying 4 or 5 coming off that. You've then halved the damage that the railgun does. So it actually becomes a lot less effective the more armor that somebody actually has. These ones do actually have a shield bypass, but then actually they do even worse against armor. So negative 20% against armor. So the actual so once this thing is actually going up against armor, you've got to sort of subtract the rating, and then it's also negative minus 20% again as well. So it might do 5 or 6 damage again when it actually is hitting armor. So these become a lot less impactful. Getting the beam weaponry though, ultimately if we can get this one through here, we're then going to be doing 45 damage per shot, and you can see there the 13 damage per second is actually it's good damage and good it's good base damage and also good damage per second. So that's why getting these assault blasters can be a real game changer. They don't have any bonuses really against armor or shields, but they just do damage, and so that's really what we want to get. These guys in through here, the damage per second is still pretty good at 8. That's where we currently are. So we've now got this one here. We can get up to nearly 10 per second with 33 damage with the assault blasters. And these are still fairly small, only size 20. So these are actually small weapons. These are size 20 as well. So they're identical size. So we can literally just do an upgrade into these. The other one that we have, the torpedoes, I think it is worth us. I think we'll actually grab these now as well. These are just version 2s, so we don't have to then go and retrofit or do anything once we get the version 2s. So we'll pay those costs. So we'll get those in there. So that will be something, and I'll actually move them up to the top as well, because they are going to be useful. And we will also go and get this one as well, the impact assault blaster, just to get the 13 damage per second. So I'll pay the cost there and bring that one up as well. But I'll do this one secondary to the enhanced torpedoes. So we'll exit out of those researches, and we've got 53. That's not going to be enough for us to crash research. So we'll look and see what the torpedo research is. Down the bottom here. So crash 64,000. So it's actually pretty cheap. We'll get there fairly soon, and then we'll be able to then just crash that research, get the enhanced torpedoes, which would be nice. And in the meantime, though, I will actually do an upgrade of the ships that we actually have. So we'll just go back into ship designs and just follow through. So we've got the destroyers. We've only got 6 destroyers in total. I think it might be just in the large fleets we're only using those. Let's just I like to have a quick look first to see if there's anything that the AI is likely to change. And it's things like the Sentinels. They've got the Maxos blasters, so these can just be replaced straight away with the new thing. We're still a little way off in terms of the overall power. We're using the target tracking system and countermeasure system. Now, target tracking, we're better off, I think, with the swarm targeting. Yeah, let's go and do an upgrade anyway. We'll just go and cancel, and we'll just do the upgrade. And we'll just see what they've done. Yeah, they've changed it to swarm targeting anyway, which is good. It's a better targeting computer. They've left the Maxos blasters on. So they have sort of honoured what we had there, and they've pretty much left everything else the way it was. So that's the only thing that they actually changed. We're still it's still undersized. So I'm now going to go across and change those Maxos blasters to the impact assault blasters. So we'll just go and change these again. If we just hover over them, there's no, I think that they're trying to honour what we had set up with the Maxos blasters, but in this case the impact assault blasters are a better weapon. The Maxos blaster has got more range, but the impact assault blaster has got much more devastating combat abilities. So we'll go impact assault blaster and just throw them in and just replace all of those, which is going to make them a stronger ship. So now we'll save and exit. This is the Destroyer Mark III now. So that's now been done. We don't have any of those, so they're going to all have to be upgraded. The heavy escorts that we're using, and if we have a look at this one here, these are just using the Epsilons. There's nothing much there that we need to change, so we'll just go and cancel that one. The next one that's manual is the heavy frigates. That's the Destructo. We don't need to change that one either. We've got the frigates down through here as well. These are actually, we're not doing anything with those. So it's just this one here now, the fleet frigate. So we'll just go and have a quick look and see what it's got. So it's using Maxos blasters as well. It's also using swarm targeting, so it doesn't need to do anything else there. So I'll just go and do an upgrade. I'll just cancel and do an upgrade there. So it's version 2. Still got all of that stuff down through there. Nothing else has really changed. So we're right on the limits there. And we'll just go and grab the impact assault blasters again. So we'll just get the extra firepower for those. Everything else is good, so we'll just save and exit. And so they also then need to be upgraded. So we've got 2 classes of ships that need to be retrofitted. So what I'll do is I'll send the first down out for retrofitting to start with, and I'll leave the third sort of where they are. They'll do it automatically anyway, but I will just manually tell these guys to retrofit to the latest designs. Now they're going to Uglog, which is a little way away. The other fleets will start to do their own thing as well, but we'll just sort of keep them. Everyone's on automation. If we go first, second, has got no mission. They need to upgrade retrofit at Lamtrini, so we'll do that one. Third is there. They'll automatically go off and do it themselves. The fourth will actually do it as well. If they've got if we can see the rings around what they're doing, they'll automatically go and do it. There is a small ring there, so that's automated, 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 and that one's fine as well. So that one's still being built up. All right, that's not a problem. We'll just unpause, let the game continue. So they'll move off. Now we may have to do this war in 2 bites. If we may have to, there's unknown ships coming in. And they're moving off. This will be some sort of a little attack group, I would think. What we want to do is just make sure that the 3rd and the 6th stay in the Anarche system. Just while the 1st goes off and does its thing. Yeah, they've come in to defend this. Here they come. Oh, that's one of theirs anyway. It's their 4th fleet. This is where the 3rd fleet really should just go off and destroy this stuff. With the 6th fleet in through here as well. Just put it back to raiding again once it finishes. So 6th fleet is set to defend, so that's why they're attacking these. Not good. Another tech that we're trying to steal. Can now crash research this one. Pay the costs. There. It'll be 3 bites. Yeah, war in 2 bites, gobble the capital and snack on the rest. I don't know if we'll get to the capital in this particular war. It'll have to probably be the next one. Now, our guys are suggesting that we, but I'm going to decline that. Yeah, accept war mission, capture enemy refueling station. These are a bit too difficult. I'm going to decline that because we're going to be destroying it anyway. This is an Arche 5, I think. Yeah, that was already destroyed. Too late. If it said destroy it, I would have said yes. They've now moved away. So these guys here will just keep on doing their thing. They'll go off for retrofits at some point. And we don't actually have any capacity to retrofit out here anywhere anyway. I'll decline that one. Yep, so we'll get the enhanced torpedoes. Now that's almost like they're sort of jury-rigged into existing design, so we don't have to do anything else with those. There goes the 6th to retrofit at Sarasay 3 Penal Colony. It's the 3rd has to stay where they are. So the 3rd is going, even though they're on set to auto, they will be moved away from this system when there's capacity at one of the other locations, and that's not what we want. We want to have at least a presence here the whole time. So the 1st is going off. They're doing that automatically. So they'll go and retrofit here and put the impact assault blasters on. And we're getting another sort of swathe of money here as well, which is good. The wars in this game are so good because you've really got to think through how to actually tackle the combat. Now they're actually offering us protection. I'm gonna, I don't know if which one of them's been a bit of a pain in the bum. I might actually accept the treaties here. No, I'll decline that one. It's a pirate group done that one. That's okay. We'll dismiss that. All right, we're just doing salvage. As soon as we see the third, I'm going to have to step in and stop them, unless the first is sort of almost on its way back. Yeah, those that group there, we need to stop those pirates. There's the council there who are friendly. Well, not so. Oh, there's, hang on, there's the Hemingway gangsters. They're friendly as well. Yeah, I'm not seeing the others. They've made peace already. Here we go. We've now got the enhanced torpedoes. Colony. I'll have a quick look at the other torpedoes as well. So we're now starting to do this one here. This one's going to cost me 190,000 to crash research that one at this stage. And with the torpedoes that we have through here, we do have planetary torpedoes. We have advanced torpedoes in this way as well. That's pretty quick to get that one as well. They can get the Mark III, which does a lot of damage again, 55 when they hit. And again, better bombardment. You know, it might be worth just queuing that up as well. So we're only using really blasters and torpedoes in our designs. Okay, that's done. Now the third is moving to Perilous Gate to attack this. So this is now being left defenseless. I'll let it do it though. We really haven't seen anything else come in just yet. So there goes the friendly pirates. Tenth Fleet is moving. Oh, yeah, the 10th Fleet, what are they doing? Oh, they're moving across, yeah, that's right. So they're moving out. They've now got what they needed. And they can protect it as well. Like even though they're mainly for taking on planets, it's still not terrible. Fifth Fleet must be, yeah, they're refueling back in through here. And they probably get off for retrofits as well, I would guess. Because they're supposed to be back over here at the Sheogan system. Okay, yeah, we can accept that war mission. Now it's suggesting they're offering to end the war. Office end the war. We propose immediate end to the war between us. In addition, we give you research for multi-target management, hybrid plasma weapons, and regenerating hull splinters. I think I might accept this now, and then we can just sort of rebuild up around the place. So I think we'll actually accept this treaty. They're not going to subjugate themselves to us yet, but this will be the first bite. So we'll take that one. That gives me a whole lot of different stuff. We've got a new ambassador has now appeared as well, which I'll probably end up moving someone out this way anyway, just for when they attack next time. So we're a bit stretched with our diplomatic corps. Let's go into each of these. So we've got multi-target management. So this is going to give us multi-lock sensors. These may not be all that valuable. The hybrid plasma weapons research into here. So the plasma blaster, again, not really all that valuable to us. This one is good to get the splinter pods. These are better assault pods. Then we've got this guy here. So let's just go and right click on each of those. The ambassador will dismiss, and we've now made peace. So if we have a quick look and see what they're doing. So they're displeased with us, but at least we've made peace with them. We're going to need to end up smashing these guys. We do actually have ambassadors out at these locations, but we'll need to get one across into here now. So I'll go to the ambassadors. We've got this one here. We don't know what traits he's got, so we'll just go and make this one manual as well, and set that one across. Hang on, where are we? To Ubalay 5. So we'll transfer out across. That way we'll have eyes in that location for when the next war starts. What's that group there? It's interesting. Brigand's Fortress. Now, Brigand's Fortress is where? The Fearsome Confederacy. They're hostile. Alright, so that's something we could actually destroy as well. So we might sort of send a group in there when we're ready. And at this stage, I won't worry about the Mortlands so much, although they do have invasion fleets right on our doorstep. Just turn off the combat overlay again. Lantrini, so they're right there. So they're sort of expanding close to, this is their capital. With different strike forces and things just moving around in here, but we don't have a real big presence there. What I might do is I might change the first fleet to actually head out over this side to the Klakamu system. So just set that as the home base, and that's where it's going to be sort of then operating from that position. So that will then move out, and then that will become its center of operation. So we're now split up because we don't need them everywhere. Just get it to stop and clear any queued missions. Now it'll move back to that position. So the third fleet can now just do its own, it'll retrofit when it's got time. It'll attack this Gravelex. There's a lot of them in here. No resources here. It's funny to have so many Gravelexes around something with no value. Just keep them doing what they're doing. 10th Fleet. Again, this is our bombardment fleet, and at this stage I've still got a feeling that we'll be back in here, but it'll take a little bit of time now just to sort of set things up. 97,000, we're at 18% through here. I think to crash research that one was still a little way off. So Zerigen is saying, what expansion are you referring to? Just expanding in the game. It's a misleading comment, sorry. It's nothing new that I've got. It's just I didn't know what I was up to in the game, so I thought, well, I'm going to be expanding. So yeah, it's not an expansion pack or anything. I think I used the same word the other day for something, and yeah, it was confusing. So my apologies about that. So it's not an expansion for the game. Again, these guys will start to get a bit more aggressive at some point as well, I think. I like the balance of what we've got at this stage. That should be enough for us to now crash research this. 150. No, it's not quite enough. Just wait for it. Mission completed. Okay, we've got compressed fuel storage. We're starting to sort of get some of these other techs which are useful. Yep, so they're under attack. It's okay, it missed it. The others will then cycle around, get past the event horizon, and then go for it. New research station completed. What do we get there? Shields research. I don't even know where that is. Oh, it's way out over there. Okay, that's going to be hard to defend. We're doing quite well in this game. Just need to keep on sort of taking over different worlds, I guess. There goes a third. That goes sort of like our friends. They're sort of now the Boscarans. They're moving back into their territory. And again, if they end up at war with the Mortlands, I think we might flick across, and I don't think they're at war with them. So we've got very, very close relations with them. And they've got no wars anywhere. If we have a look at the, where are they? We've got the Mortlands. There they are. They're angry. Yeah, they don't like things. That's a destroyer. This is right on cue. You couldn't script it, could you? The Boscara Imperial Dominants have declared war on the Mortland Security Directorate. Now, we have to pick our time. When are we going to go in? Now, we've got... there's more ships coming in. They're always attacking this Agadorv. Now, this is... these pirates, where are these guys? This is a cruel authority. We've got no idea where they're from. The Quaminos... we need to stop them from doing these raids. We don't have enough. We haven't found enough yet to see where they're from. Well, with them declaring war, now that's going to... we've now lost sight of the group that was in here. I think we changed direction now. The second is got no mission. Excuse me. And we should be able to pick up... yeah, we've got a few there. So I'll just get the second to go and pick up troops here. And we'll get the first is now already moving out to this location, which is sort of where we would want to be. There's too many nebulas through here to find a spot through. So really the gap is here. This is where the fights have to take place. I'll keep the third out this way, I think, although I probably really want to have both. I think I'll move the third back in. That's now going off for repairs and should retrofit as well. So we'll make this the home base for them as well. So we end up with their two biggest fleets. Then we've got a, this is the 9th Strike Force. It's just a small group. And so we'll set them up as the defenders of this region of space. Oh no, we've got the 6th there anyway. 6, that's fine. They can just do what they have to do out that way. And so everyone else will then sort of go off and just do their thing. So that's going to reposition forces. Now we actually have, the first fleet is now moving across anyway. We've got another fleet back up through here, the 8th Defence. So they'll just sort of look after that region. And I think everything else is now going to be set. So we'll start to take some of these other positions. These are, we'll probably end up just bombarding these out to nothing. Which means that the 10th needs to have a home base also in here as well. Just get them to also then move across. System maps, okay, that's fine. We'll dismiss that. We can now crash research this. Pay the costs, 120,000. So we'll get that a little bit faster. That's going to give us then the higher level groups. If the game gets too overwhelming, like with all of the small, I'm no longer really looking at where my, where we've got freighters moving. So just unpause. So I don't need to see them. Raiders have withdrawn and they did steal things, unfortunately. So just to get rid of some of the clutter, we can actually sort of change that in the settings in the game. So you've got automation back over through here, but you do have the settings if you just press escape and go to settings. You can actually then just turn off different bits and pieces. So you've got like, this is to show all sorts of different things, but just show the civilian ships. I'm going to go no. And just go apply, and it will clean up this a lot. There we go. So now we're just seeing our ships, the ships that we're in control of. So I don't really need to be seeing where the trails are. It's handy to a certain point, but now we've got so much going on. It's much cleaner just to sort of turn them off. You can also just turn off the combat overlay to sort of only really focus on your military. But it's yeah, it does get to a point in the game where looking at all the individual civilian ships, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So just let them do their thing. It's the 10th Fleet. So they're refueling out this way. Now that little colony here, the little outpost for mining the Loris fruit is, that's not it, where was it? Down in here. Yeah, they're just thumping along. They're actually happy now. They're satisfied. This one does cost us a bit of money just to keep the support going. Could enslave them, I guess. Why not? Did that work? There we go. Ikaru is now enslaved on this world. So, I guess that counts as another slave world for us. Accept trade. Okay, we'll decline that. The Dayots are in enslaving faction. They're no longer happy. They've got hardly any assimilation, which won't really matter. The money is going to be whatever the money is going to be. Valuable treasure, that's okay as well. Now, guys, I'm going to have to get going. I've actually run out of time. What should we focus on for next time? I'm guessing it's going to be in here. I might just leave the screen here just so I know that that's the gap we're going to be then looking at, I think. So I will leave it there. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be pretty early tomorrow just to play some Headquarters World War II. And yeah, and then like we'll try to get sort of back into more of a regular run with Distant Worlds 2 again, just to keep it sort of going. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.